So according to Nielsen, more Democrats tune into Gutfeld than the typical liberal shows like The Tonight Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Real Time with Bill Maher, and The Daily Show. Apparently my good looks are far stronger than partisanship. But I realize with great power comes great responsibility. So tonight I want to take some time to explain to the Dems watching what makes us different. Let this be our attempt to, quote, tone down the rhetoric. First, we do not read minds. We can't begin to predict what you're thinking. However, you guys tend to do that all the time. If somebody says crime is out of control, you say, well, he's racist. If someone says we need to seal the border, you say he's racist. Hell, if a dentist tells you to brush your teeth, you say he's racist. Why must my teeth be so white? Of course, Trump is always racist. Remember when he said this?
And I got involved with the Taliban because the Taliban was doing the killing. And Abdul is the head of the Taliban. He is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why do you send me a picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for 18 months, we had nobody killed.
He's racist, said the mind readers. Trump referred to Muslims as Abduls.
He also invented a head of the Taliban named Abdul.
Abdul.
It's not the name of the head of the Taliban, just to be clear. He just randomly named him.
He's such a hack.
Yeah.
Like he picked the most obvious name to make up for the head of the Taliban. Abdul.
Instead of talking about the disastrous, chaotic withdrawal, she turned it to the fact that he invited the Taliban to Camp David and talked
And then he started talking about Abdul.
Of course, Trump was referring to the actual Taliban honcho whose name is Abdul. I guess it's weird having a president that remembers people's names. Or maybe Abdul was just a lucky guess. It was either that or Steve. But the critics don't care because they know what's in Trump's tangerine-tinged head. But how do you know what's in our heads? Every time we don't agree with you, the implication is that we're evil. That way there's no need to debate unless the moderators are on your side. Also, on the right, we find everything funny. And even if we don't like your jokes, we don't try to get you fired. We change the channel. Thanks for all the viewers, Jimmy Kimmel. But the left says that we punch down. But with comedy, you're supposed to make fun of everything. And also, I'm 5'5". Every punch I've ever thrown is up. Well, except for that one time Dana got a little mouthy with me at a Bennigan's. Of course, today, punching down has been reversed by granting special benefits based on group traits. For instance, the left says you can't mock women's looks, then they mock Melania's. My response to that is, why would you call a show The View when your hosts completely block it? We're also partial to institutions. Call it old-fashioned thinking. Older generations either figured this stuff out or their society collapsed. This is why people keep hearing old classic phrases like, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? Because it makes sense, and cows are sluts. The challenge for a Dem is, how do you change the world without destroying its foundations? There's a lot of good things out there. Electricity, meritocracy, celibacy. Now, without Democrats, progress may be slow. But without Republicans, you could end up with rash policies that lead to crime, homelessness, and no one left to tax. It's why righties don't embrace gender ideology. A normal life can't be had if you're introducing variables that undermine order. Child has enough challenges already. So when you see parents upset, it's not because they're transphobic. They just want their kids to experience life at the right age. I didn't know what a vagina was till I was 27. Now, what about hoaxes? The Fine People hoax, drinking bleach hoax, Hunter's laptop is fake hoax, all misreported by your media providers, yet you still trust them. That's like getting food poisoning at a restaurant, but you keep going back. What, are you in love with diarrhea? But you're just being used. Like I used Taylor Swift to make Martina Navratilova jealous. It works. However, we don't have that liberal luxury of accepting hoaxes. We have to do the homework to debunk them. Finally, those of you may think Trump is an a-hole, even a threat to democracy. It almost gets him killed on a regular basis. But calling someone an asshole has no effect on men. We've all heard it all our lives. Your coworker Jim is a real asshole. And you're like, I know, but he's our best sales rep. Your wife might say, your friend Vic is a prick. And you say, yeah, but he once bailed me out of jail. Or someone might say, that Jesse Waters is an asshole. And you're like, okay, you're right. Look, we don't care if our lawyer or doctor is an a-hole. That's factored in, and it's often a plus. I don't want to enter court and the other side grins when they see my attorney. I want their assholes to get puckered like a child's face when tasting a dill pickle for the first time. And I'd rather have an asshole who can diagnose my appendicitis over text than the doctor with a great bedside manner who misdiagnosed my rash, and now I'm being sued by the Rockettes. So all you Democrats watching, I hope this helps you understand us. We do our best to understand you. Maybe now you'll return the favor and the Trump lawn signs you keep stealing. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's as fun as